How's it going, folks? It's Mark from Like-Minded Lunatics. I'm joined by my friend Ladi.
Yay!
Oh, it's so good to have you back.
Oh, thank you for having me again. This was so much fun.
So, if you didn't check out our Pride Month reactions, Ladi and I reacted to 2 videos during Pride Month.
That's right.
We did D-Light versus B-52s.
Yeah.
It's a great matchup. You can go here to check that out. And then we also did
Mary Lambert's
Secrets. Fantastic video, fun song. You can go here to check that out. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I had initially suggested to Ladi that we do George Michael during Pride Month. And I was like, well, let's take a look at one of George Michael's. Let's do I Want Your Sex. And we looked into kind of the background of it, and Ladi was like, I don't think we should. Why?
Wait. George Michael is an icon. He's a person that is out and oh, well, not now. Well, he's out, but he's gone.
Yeah.
But he was out and proud, but at the time he was not. When this video came out, he was in the closet, and to me, because of that, the song, the video, it didn't really speak about pride. It was more of him trying to get along. To me, the artists that you did do, they have either gay band members, they are gay musicians themselves, they have gay songs, they are out, they are proud, they are talking about who they are, and to me, that is what exhibits pride. And nothing against George Michael,
Sure.
He just wasn't there yet.
Yeah, and this was the conversation that Ladi and I had, and so I was like, you're absolutely right. And it took me back to graduate school, and this was something that we talked about. In graduate school, I was obsessed with the different critical perspectives, and one of them is queer theory. And in queer theory, we look at pieces of art based on the assumption that heterosexuality is the normal, and queer authors are trying to subvert that. And when you look at this video through that lens, it really does seem like a gay man fighting to be normal.
Yes.
And you're absolutely right.
Or to be perceived that way, at least.
To be perceived as
Yes.
normal. And again, folks, I'm not using normal. I'm saying that's what he was thinking at the time. And so I was like, yeah, we can't do it. We can't do it during Pride. But I'm glad we're doing it now.
Because it's a great video.
It's a fascinating video. So we're going to do this, folks. This came out in 1987. This was off of both the Beverly Hills Cop II soundtrack. The song appears in the scene where they go to 385 North and they try to pass off Taggart as Gerald Ford. And then it also appeared on the Faith album as well. It's tradition around here, folks, to have a beverage with our Friday night reaction video, and I've already opened mine, Ladi.
Oh, yes,
so
you
I'm
did.
going with a Fuego jalapeno infused lager from Twisted X in Austin, Texas, and you've got
hibiscus tea that you made for me.
That's right, folks. That's what I do for my friends. So cheers, cheers. I hope you had a great week, and I hope you have a great weekend. Let's do this. George Michael, I Want Your Sex from 1987. Wow. So first off, just the beat and that intro with the woman walking in the shadows, it is a very, very sexy video.
Yeah, already.
It's one of those videos, if you didn't know the backstory about it, this would be one of those videos you put on for a special night, you know? I can't do that now after we know the backstory about it, but
You can still have a special night with it.
bums me out, man.
Oh, well, that's nice. I guess that's
Bums
kind
me
of
out.
nice.
I don't want somebody to feel bad about who they are when I'm wanting to feel good about who I am.
Yeah, I get that.
But man, it's sexy. It looks like the beginning of a Bond film.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking when the legs walked right across.
It's very hot.
Yes.
All right, folks. Now, see, this is the point where we're looking at the lyrics and we're like, yeah, this isn't a Pride video. I mean, there's things that you guess. There's things that you know. There's boys you can trust and girls that you don't. That's some heavy-duty stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe I'll link to it. There's an article I sent to you
Yes.
from Advocate, a British publication, with an interview with him about this. And one of the things that he said is that it was during this time when he was trying to pass himself off as bisexual. And he would tell his girlfriends at the time that he was bi, but he knew that he only felt like when he was with another man, that he could be intimate and he could be, and so, oh God, reading these lyrics, I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so this is another point. The lyric is, I swear I won't tease you, won't tell you no lies, don't need no Bible, just look in my eyes. But in the video, he is blindfolding his girlfriend.
And he's blindfolding her because he's already blindfolded himself too. I mean, he cannot look at himself and be honest. So of course he's got to hide things from her too.
That is so astute. I mean, and the other thing that really strikes me is, number one, when they're framed, when she's being very sexy, he's not in the frame. It's just her.
You're right.
And then he's singing to the camera, but when he appears with her, he appears behind her, and he's blindfolding her. And so the video itself is very sexy until you start picking the damn thing apart. And then it's like, oh my gosh.
You have to feel bad for him.
100%.
Because this was hard. He was learning how to be himself and be okay with it.
And I can't imagine, we talked about like Erasure, that lead singer, I'm blanking on his name, but...
Andy Bell?
Yes. He was one of the first really out and loud gay man.
Yes.
And for George Michael, I can't imagine there weren't that many heroes out there to look up to. There weren't anybody he could go, you know what? That guy did it.
And was successful, and everything went well.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah. And the thing that has struck me about this, it's I want your sex, not I want your love, I want your intimacy. It is almost a clinical statement.
Yes. It's a slot A, slot B.
It's a synecdoche, when you reduce one thing to one part.
That is a brilliant word.
Thank you. I actually went to school. I don't act like it. But basically, he is distilling her person down to sex organs.
Yes. And him.
And
himself
him too.
too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to imagine that he's punishing himself for not...
Yes. For not being able to open that door and close the other.
Yes.
Did that make sense?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But it's infinitely danceable.
Yes.
It's
such a good song.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Semi-Charmed kind of Life.
Yes.
By Third Eye Blind.
That's a terribly sad song, but man, it's fun.
So that song is about meth addiction.
Yes.
About being addicted to methamphetamine, and it's a very poppy, danceable song.
Yes.
And you realize, I am dancing to some man's misery.
Yes.
It's same thing here.
Same thing here.
Sex. It's playing on my mind. It's dancing on my soul. It's taking so much time. So why don't you just let me go? I'd like to try. Oh, I'd really love to know. When you tell me you're gonna regret it, then I tell you that I love you, but you still say no.
Again, folks, the lyrics, it's playing on my mind, it's dancing on my soul, it's taking so much time, so why don't you just let me go? I'd really like to try, or I'd really love to know. When you tell me you're gonna regret it, then I tell you that I love you, but you still say no. So one of the things that, I'm sorry,
No, you know, one of the things every time I watch this, we get his face looking at us and pleading, really, to us, to see him for who he is. But aside from the time that you saw her face when they were putting the blindfold on her and her face at the very beginning, she is nothing but body parts everywhere else.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We're obviously focusing on his pain as a person, too. But there are two people in this video.
Yes.
There were two people in that relationship.
Yeah.
And, must have been devastating for both of them.
Well, it had to be, because for him, you don't want to be for him going through the pain that he's going through, he does not want to inflict that pain on someone else. But it's almost as if there is no other choice at that time than to go ahead and live a life that you know is going to hurt someone else too.
God. See, folks, this is why Ladi was like, we can't do it during Pride. We'll do it,
but not during
Pride.
Got her again. But even there, now that we get her whole face, she has her eyes closed the whole time.
She does. And again, she's not looking at him in the frame. They're both looking this way. And when he's framed with her, he's always behind her.
Yeah.
But her makeup is on point. Can we just say that? Can we go back and take a look at that?
She's beautiful.
That is just a makeup commercial. As someone who dabbles in the makeup poorly, this is... I aspire. And it reminds me of, I don't know if you remember the video from Madonna's Sex.
Justify My Love?
Oh, Justify My Love. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's black and white the same way, but the tone is so different.
Yeah.
She is completely in control of that situation.
Control and a little bit scary.
Yes.
Right?
Little I can't never say it.
Dominatrix.
That.
Yes.
A little bit of that. And she makes two guys make out for her, and she's sitting in the corner like, this is my show.
Yeah.
Not here, though.
No, this is not his show. This is his truth, but that's a different thing.
Yeah. Maybe the words are his show that he's showing folks.
I like that. Because he's really being as honest as he can.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we've kind of looked at before is, the points of view in the song. So, like, first-person perspective, second-person perspective, and that, like, who do they apply to? And so when he sings this, sometimes I almost feel like the second person slips. Is it in reference to the girlfriend, or is it in reference to the boyfriend that he also had as well?
Or is it really in reference to the rest of the people who think they know him already?
Yeah. Oh, that must be so painful. Jesus. It is just a very sexy video.
It is. It really is.
Shot beautifully. It looks like Zoomanity in Las Vegas.
Oh my God. I've never seen that.
That Cirque du Soleil show?
Yeah?
It's worth seeing. It's worth seeing.
It's
this without the guilt.
No guilt.
Just imagine this without the
with
guilt.
Happiness. Yeah. Everyone's good.
With tons of beautiful people. And it's very sexy. No guilt. Everybody's loving who they are. Great show. Now, both hearing and watching this part, is he trying to talk himself into it?
Well, he wrote monogamy on her back, and at this point, he had her and a boyfriend. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So monogamy was not something that he was experiencing or living with. So it makes you wonder, what is he trying to do? Is he trying to still be the person that fits in that mold? Is he still trying to go ahead and fit somewhere that he knows he doesn't fit?
Yeah. Yeah, and he mentions the Bible several times. He's mentioning that sex is natural. Sex is something for me and you. Sex is something that we should do. Not that we are doing it, but we should do, right? So it's not present tense, actively doing it. We should. It's something that is natural.
But he also is always sex.
Yeah.
He's never talking. It's almost clinical the way he says it.
It is. It absolutely is. He's describing it the same way the pamphlets described it back in school.
Yes.
Sex is natural. Sex is something that everyone does. Like, all right, I've seen a penthouse.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Those pamphlets were really erotic, right?
right, yeah. They turn you off of it immediately. But that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it does.
Sex is natural, sex is fun. Sex is best when it's
One on one. One on one.
And we're rapidly approaching the parts of this that I enjoy a lot. I want to just isolate the they're great.
When he says one-on-one, do you think he meant two people as in monogamy, or did he mean two people as in not so much of an orgy?
I don't know. Because in that same article that we both read,
Yeah.
he talks about one of the girlfriends that he had previous to the one that's in this video essentially left because they were at a big party and George invited everybody back to have sex, like to have a big group thing.
Yeah.
And so it sounded like that was something that George was into, which is fine. But
Some
he
people
apparently was not open about that until he would get really drunk. You know, he talked about that too, that substance abuse was really tied into that a whole lot. He'd have to get really loaded and then...
To free himself.
To free himself. You know, the mental anguish that you must have to go through, the cognitive dissonance that you must have to fight through.
Well, because you are living every minute of your life concentrating on keeping a door shut. Keeping it shut, making sure you say everything the right way, you act the right way, you do not let anything out.
That's and I can't imagine having to deal with that, but how you describe it, yeah, that sounds awful.
It was.
That every moment was defined by that.
Yeah. Defined by knowing no matter what else, you're not, who you are is not right.
And in any moment, something could screw up and reveal that.
Yes. Yes.
See, folks, that's why we didn't do it during Pride. Not a prideful video, but the Who's are coming up.
Oh, well, just for you.
I'm not your father. I'm not your brother. Talk to your sister. I am a
I want both of those things isolated. The Who's and the come on.
What are you going to do with it? What are
I
you
don't
gonna do?
know. I don't know. I've already isolated James Hetfield's yeah. I've already done that.
Okay.
But I would very much like to and just
You know, if you could get that on your doorbell, that would be quite a ring.
random moments.
Yeah.
Just come on. We joke about that. I still have, I don't even know why I had this out. I still have my Beavis and Butthead remote control that's essentially that I bought in the 90s. And it's essentially, you can just walk around. You can just walk around and do Beavis and Butthead stuff. That's what I want.
No.
I want to walk around and hit a button and go, come on.
Well, put together your Christmas list.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Why do you consider upon my baby? Don't you know I love it till it hurts my baby? Don't tell me how you had sex with me. What's your definition of a dirty baby? What do you call?
And she is not emoting at all.
Or even looking at it.
No. My goodness, look at that. She is literally emotionless as he's whispering to her.
Yeah. She's frozen, just staring straight ahead, like he's not really even there.
Yeah. Which he probably wasn't. At least mentally checked
Yeah.
in.
No, it's just a voice.
What do you call pornography? Don't you know I love it till it hurts my baby? Don't you think it's how you had sex with me? Sex with me. Sex with me. Have sex
And then we end with explore monogamy. Is that an imperative to himself?
Well, he said explore. I don't I don't know exactly what that means,
I
but
didn't care for it.
yeah, I was there.
Gave it a shot?
Nah, not mine, not for me.
Well, I'm glad that we watched the video, and I'm glad that we were able to do a reaction to it.
Well, I'm glad that we read that article. I'm glad you shared it with me because it gave me so much more information, and it's just amazing what he had to go through. Yeah. Really, any of these people, Elton John, Katie Lang, all these people who had to go out of their way, even though they had their fans that knew and that did not care and that loved them anyway, they still could not come out.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things too that, and as you know, obviously I am not part of the gay community. I feel like I would like to be a friend to the gay community, but I have not walked that path, right?
Well, yeah.
But it seems to me too that there's probably also pressure for how you come out and pressure to do it in a certain way. And the only reason I say that is because reading interviews with Joan Jett, she's talked a lot about that, about how she has gotten pressure to come out and to be and to do it in a certain way.
Yeah.
And she, Chris and I reacted to one of her videos. You guys can go watch that.
It was good. It was good. I love Joan Jett. And I get where she's coming from, but I get where other people are coming from. Because if you are a person that has this kind of power, this sway over the media, the fact of the matter is that saying you're gay, saying you're lesbian, saying you're bi, whatever, you are giving a voice to kids who live in backwater countries, who live in little houses with parents who don't understand anything. You are giving them something that they're not going to get anywhere else.
Sure.
So I get it. But I also understand the idea of the saying, I shouldn't have to. And maybe not. And hopefully there'll come a time when no one has to because no one cares. But right now, it feels like every step we should do should be in something that we can do, like Harvey Milk said, to make life easier for those other ones who are not here yet.
That's such a great, that's a great line. That's a great line to end on, I think. I think that's a great place to stop us because if anything that we've taken from this video, I really think it should be that the pain that some folks had to go through is something that we should try to prevent for other folks in the future.
Yes.
When I hear about people's trials and tribulations, I don't think about it in the abstract. I think about my students. I had a student who came out in class. I had a student who experienced sexual trauma, and I was the office that she came to. I have students who experienced racism, read about it in their journals. And so when I hear about these stories, people are like, why are you so invested? Because I see my students. I see faces. And so when I see this video, my first reaction is we got to make sure this shit doesn't happen to anybody else. That's my reaction.
That was such a sweet thing to say. That's all I'm going to say. I can't say
folks,
anything.
I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave us some comments in the comment section if you would. But remember, keep them nice. Because if they're not nice,
he'll get rid of them.
You know what I do? I just take them and I set them on fire. And then I take those ashes and I just throw them up in the air. And I hope they blow in your eyes. In your own eyes. Back in your own face. That's what I hope. So keep them nice. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And take care of yourselves, folks. And we'll see you soon.